Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So if you've been watching the channel a while, you'll know I'm doing Project 60, and if you don't know what that is, here's a little recap. So it's the beginning of January, and that means one thing. It means I've had my birthday, which means for me this year I've got 1 year till I'm 60, and that's got me thinking. So I thought this could be the challenge I need to give me that stimulus to get out and ride. So as I approach 60, I want to find out if I can get faster or stronger, and by how much, and how much effort is it taking. So now we're in mid-June, so I've been doing this for about 5 months, and I'm not a stranger to training. I've been doing it for about over 10 years, 10-15 years of sort of serious riding. And the one thing I have noticed, as you might have, is as you get older, fitness is harder and harder to come by. You do make progress, but it can be, or seem, glacially slow, and every watt increase you really have to work for, especially, as I said, if you're quite experienced. If you're new to it, you could probably gain quite a bit quite quickly and really improve your cycling. So I have done a ramp test, which you'll see in a minute, just to compare with a ramp test I did in, I think it was January, might have been February, but quite a while ago. And it's the first real test I've done to see if I'm getting fitter. But what have I been doing in the meantime? So the first thing I've been doing is trying to up my volume. I'm sure you've heard of the adage, the bigger the base, the bigger the peak of fitness. So that's what I've been doing. I was doing probably 7 or 8 hours a week. I've been trying to do 8, 9, 10 hours a week with a 3 or 4 hour ride a week if I can, and I'm on that now. And as I said, the fitter you get, the more you have to do, hence why the pros are doing 25 hours a week. Anyway, apart from that, I've been mainly focusing on threshold type of work. So over and unders I've been doing pretty regularly, at least once a week, like a minute or thereabouts in VO2, and then going below for a minute or two at sort of sweet spot or 90% FTP for gradually extending efforts. So I started off probably doing 8-9 minute ones, 3 of those, and then building to 12 and getting up to 15-minute efforts like that. And as I'm trying to raise my FTP as an indicator of fitness, that's the key thing I've been focusing on. It's all about lactate clearance, and the better you are at clearing lactate, the fitter you are, and the harder you can ride without blowing up. So as I said, that's been my main focus. I have been doing some sort of tempo efforts with hard starts, so riding hard for a minute and then settling into more of a tempo effort, probably around 80% FTP. So that's what I've been doing. Let's see if it worked. Okay, so here we are in the garage, and I'm just about to start the Trainer Road ramp test. 16, 17 to 20 minutes of pain. Well, actually it's not that, it's a 5-minute warm up, gradually ramping up, and then the pain begins. So let's see how it goes. Previous one was 233 when I did that in February maybe. Now it's into June, well into June. Or I'm in a similar position in that the last week or two I've had a chest infection, which is really annoying, which wasn't too bad but did put me off the bike for a bit, and a wedding to attend, so that was another few days off the bike. I did go out yesterday and I even did some weights yesterday too, so my legs aren't super fresh, but hopefully we'll see an improvement. See you later. Okay, so the ramping has just started, about 5 or 6 minutes into the warm-up, another 10 to 15 minutes to go. 13 minutes in. Max heart rate 180. Hit a new, well, new for the last few years, max heart rate 182. Haven't seen that for a long time. And an increase in FTP. So as I said, it was on the ramp test 233. It's now 244. So a 10 watt increase over the last 4 months. Not amazing, but it's progress in the right direction. So all in all, pretty good. So maybe if I had been super fresh, it would be slightly higher. Funny thing is, at the moment, Trainer Road AI, which, as I said before, takes into account all your riding, inside, outside. Obviously in the summer you tend to do more outside. My current FTP is something like 252, so another 10 watts-ish above this. And I'm doing those workouts okay. Some of them, especially the over-under workouts when you're on the 3rd set, that's quite hard. But generally, you know, it seems to be around that. So maybe 244 to about 250, which is an improvement on the previous estimate, which I think had the Trainer Road workout suggested 233. But then with Trainer Road and their AI, I sort of upped it to around 240. So certainly like a 10 watt increase over those last 3 or 4 months. So hopefully, if I keep it going in the summer and certainly keep on the trajectory I'm on now, we should see another improvement later on in the year. So as you can see, I have made progress. Not a huge amount, but 10 or so watts above where I was is pretty good going. Obviously the more the better, but hopefully if I can continue this trajectory over the next few months, I might by the summer or the end of the summer have another 10 watts, which will put me roughly back where I was a few years ago when I was probably riding at my best, or certainly my best in my 50s. But it is a slow process, and as they say, you have to stick with the process and trust it. So what have you done to get fitter in your 50s, or have you got much fitter in your 50s, and if so, how did you go about doing it? We can all learn from other people. I'd love to hear what you do to build that fitness. So don't forget to drop it in the comments below. So I hope you liked the video and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to click that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, it'd be great if you considered subscribing. Till next time, bye for now.